What's going on, PDD fans? My name is Commander Coach of Sylveon KC, and welcome to the PDD Weekly Recap. I'm going to start doing this on the channel every week, just discussing all the matches and power rankings and pick'em crews for the PDD. However, I didn't do it last week because I just came up with the idea now. So this is going to be for weeks 1 and 2 of the PDD. And we should have guests coming in. Right now I'm alone, like always. But so many people are on, like Bunny's on, Bigbad's on, Thunderbug's on, Cantan's on, Dash is on, JJ's on, Cheat's on, Virgie was on, and then I messaged 27 because he wanted to join me. However, we're going to move right in. So week 1, you saw my match, which was me versus Podge. We'll get to that match later. And the first match for week 1 was RC versus Virgie. RC, coach of the Berlin Berlooms, and Virgie, coach of the how the heck do you pronounce this? Let me look. Kellowen Mawile. And I'm just going to give kind of a summary of like who got how many kills, etc. Virgie 5-0 Darcy, which was kind of interesting. Virgie's one of like the best players in the league. I mean, in the other league that I analyzed, that he's in the PFL, he's one of the best players as well, so he's kind of the top player in the PDD in my opinion. And so it was no surprise when he 5-0'd RC, even though RC is really, really good, but he drafted Lettyba with OU and did not bring Lettyba, and that's probably why he got 5-0'd, was that he didn't bring Lettyba. Moving on to the upset game of the week, was Chengy versus Rapidash. Chengy, coach of... I gotta look. Chengy, coach of the Brisbane Heatrans, faced off against Rapidash, coach of the Toronto Rapidash. I know. Like, you couldn't guess that at all. It was a really close game, and if I remember right, because this is like 2 weeks ago, Chengy was beat by Rapidash 1-0. Everyone voted for Chengy, and 3 people... Oh, by the way, I locked in RC. I didn't lock in RC. I locked in Virgie, and of course, I got that. That was my lock-in for the week. And then 3 people locked in Chengy to win. Everyone voted for Chengy. Hedge, Cheat, Hedges 27, Cheat, and T-Bug all said that Chengy was definitely going to win. No, that was my phone. Good, did not break. And then everyone voted that Chengy would win. However, Dash pulled the 1-0. That was a really cool game. And if you want to replay, comment down below, and I will send you the replay of whatever week and match. Another big, well, I'm not going to say this is a big upset because it kind of changed, was the third match we have here, Bigbad versus Lackner, who was supposed to be Fancy. However, no, it was supposed to be Spider, but we replaced Spider because he was being inactive. And so we all had it set up to where Bigbad would beat Spider. However, Lackner 3-0 to Bigbad, and the only 2 people that got points for that was JJ and Virgie. Everyone else voted for Bigbad. Then we get to the Haxie match, or one of the 2 Haxie matches of the week. It is Commander, me, versus Podge, who is undoubtedly one of the best players in the league as well. Like him, Virgie, I would say Jayhawk are like the 3 best. Maybe Cantan, but Cantan's gotten lucky sometimes. But surprisingly, it was just a 1-0 Podge beat me, and you can see that match if you go back a couple weeks of my videos where we just get 1-0'd, and definitely should have been like a 4 or a 5-0, but for some reason the hacks were in our favor. Leaf Storm missed a lot. And so Podge started off with the win. One of the biggest upsets, another one of the big upsets after Chengy, was Bunny versus Sokka week 1. Everyone thought Bunny would win. The only person who thought Sokka would win was Jayhawk, who is undoubtedly the worst pick'em crew coach ever. Sokka was his only pick this week that actually won. However, oh wait. No one else is joining me. Come on. That was Bigbad messaging me. So, Bunny lost to Sokka. We move on to the next match, which was T-Bug against Cantan, and Cantan 3-0 T-Bug with, there was some hacks on T-Bug's side. I thought that T-Bug probably could have won, but Cantan evidently played a really good game, as you'll see by week 2. No one's joining me. This is sad. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so the next game, and in my opinion, the best player of, like, had the best draft was Cheat. I haven't been doing the teams. I'll get back to the teams. With Cheat versus Shiki. Cheat is coach of the Washington Blizzards, while Shiki is coach of the Washington Nationals. So, it is the Battle of the Washingtons. And, of course, Cheat pulled up on top, as most of us voted for Cheat. However, Shiki did get a vote, and did get a lock by Jayhawk, who said he's not very good at pick and through. And then the last match for the weekend was the first match played, is JJ, a.k.a. Sheej, a.k.a. Heading back to the document, a.k.a. coach of the Giraffe Trees, was up against Jayhawk, coach of the Boston Weasels, in the very hilarious abbreviation of, it's not Dog, it's Bob. He's going to build something. But Jayhawk a 2-0, and JJ evidently could have played better, as you'll see in the second week. So overall, the first week, the winners were... Hey, Bigbad joined us. That's nice. Welcome. We just got done with week 1. Okay, so going over the winners for week 1, Virgie beat RC 5-0, Dash made the upset, beat Changy 1-0, Lackner beat Bigbad 3-0, Podge somehow did not completely destroy me, because it was just a 1-0, Sokka beat Bunny, and I don't remember by how much, I think it was a 1-0, Cantan beat T-Bug 3-0, Cheat beat Shiki 2-0, and then Jayhawk beat JJ with a 2-0. And from the Pick'em Crew side, the records tied. The person with the best record was Bunny, who had a 4-2. Probably could have had a 5-2 if he actually voted for the Jayhawk game, but he did not. And then closely behind him was myself and JJ with 4-3 records. The worst record definitely goes to Jayhawk, who had a 1-6 record that week. Do you have any comments over week 1, Bigbad?
Nothing really other than surprise Dash 1. Everything else is pretty standard, I think.
I would agree with that. Dash definitely proved us wrong. Okay, moving on to week 2. As this is the week that just finished up as we're recording this. The matches were Virgie against Dash, RC against Changy, Commander versus Bigbad, Lackner versus Podge, Bunny versus T-Bug, Saga versus Cantan, Cheat versus JJ, and Shiki versus Jayhawk. So we're going to go in reverse order this time, because we started with Virgie and Dash in that area, and now we're going to start with Shiki versus Jayhawk, which was just the match that was just played today. And, oh, no, Virgie would have joined us, but he's on mobile. That's sadness. But, so Jayhawk beat Shiki 2-0, and not everyone voted for Jayhawk. About a little more than half of the coaches that voted for Jayhawk, with myself being the one who locked him in, so I get the good lock record. And then other people who voted for Jayhawk was JJ and Virgie, and then Bigbad, who joined the Pick'em Crew week 2. And then the people who voted for Shiki was Hedge, Cheat, and Bunny, which Cheat locking Shiki, and yeah, that didn't turn out too well. If you have any comments about any of the matches, just feel free to talk.
What was the score in the Virgie Rapidash one?
It was a 5-0.
Yeah, that surprised me. I actually thought Dash would win.
That's exactly who you locked in and voted for, so...
Yeah, I was almost certain he'd win. But yeah, he didn't. Rip.
I'm going to move on to the Cheat versus JJ game, which was a very... Like, I don't think anyone would expect JJ to completely destroy like he did. The score was JJ completely 6-0ing Cheat, who was, you know, had the best draft, won his first match very well, and then gets 6-0'd by JJ. But JJ played a really good game. Oh, someone else joined us. And it is Bunny. We're about to his game. But speaking of Bunny, Bunny was the person who locked in JJ. And then Jayhawk, of course. Oh, come on, Bunny. Why do you not talk? Be nice and give us company. I already tried to get 27 to join, but he's busy. Anyway, and then I voted for Cheat, so obviously that didn't work. Jayhawk locked in Cheat, so that definitely didn't work. And then Bigbad voted for Cheat. And the only two who voted for JJ was Bunny and Virgie. And Bunny, who locked him in, definitely paid off. Any comments over JJ versus Cheat? How surprising a 6-0 was.
I think Cheat's draft was, like, overrated because it's predictable what he's going to bring, and if you can counter it, you can pretty easily beat him, which is what I think JJ did quite well.
Of course, if I remember right, Cheat tried to bring a rain team, and that just completely, like, JJ handled that very well. And very good on JJ's part. Moving on to the next game, which was Sokka versus Kantan. After Sokka making the upset against Bunny, he's in this call, and he can't talk. Sokka had a lot of people were voting for Sokka to win against Kantan because Kantan had a lot of hacks in his favor in the previous game. However, Kantan not only pulled off the win, but pulled off with a 5-0, which was pretty darn good. As he was the underdog for this. Only people that voted for him were Virgie, Bunny, and JJ. And you'll kind of see the pattern that these three people kind of go against what everyone else does. And it pays off a lot. And Bunny is alerting us that in week 1, Sokka hacked. And then also the reason that Sokka lost was because he brought a level 50 Gliscor to a level 100 match. So I don't know if that would have changed things. I think Kantan probably still would have won, but I don't think it would have been a 5-0. What's your thoughts, Bigbad?
Well, I personally didn't see it because I'm not playing any of those in the near future. But a 5-0 is pretty devastating. It's probably my only comment.
And Bunny's comment, as you know, he can't talk, is that Sokka had a lack of creativity and sacked off half his team to make a Heracross before actually bringing out Volcarona, who could actually do something. Moving on to a game that I'm sure Bunny will definitely want to talk about. It's his game against T-Bug. I don't even remember what it was. It looks like it was a 2-0. I'm sure Bunny will definitely correct me if I'm wrong. He seems to be pretty good about that. I don't think that was one of the matches I watched because I just had to. Yes, he did say it was a 2-0. But everyone was voted for T-Bug to win besides JJ and Bigbad, who both got their picks right, as Bunny did end up winning with the 2-0. Bunny says that he hacks him a little bit, but I think T-Bug's kind of getting used to that by now. 2 weeks in a row where he gets haxed. What's your thoughts on that, Bigbad?
Hacks is never good to win with. Well, it's always better to win if you just outplay them. But you take it when you get it. Which he did, and that's good. But I think if they play again, T-Bub probably wins without hacks.
Okay, moving on to the next match, and this was... We're all waiting for the Chingy dash effect to take place in this match. This was Lackner versus Podge, and everyone and their mother voted for Podge, including JJ, who even locked him. And we were not upset this week as Podge beat Lackner in a 2-0, 2-0, 3-0. No, 2-0. I was right the first time. And oh, I think that... Oh, Bunny's actually talking.
He didn't bring any fire stab in Fernie.
That is very true, and that is...
And he brought Mega Slowbro for no reason. It did nothing for his Podge.
And got walled by the... got smashed by the Superior.
Yeah, and Hoopa.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Podge probably could have 4 or 5-0'd, but he played it safe, which was good. That seems to be... He could completely 4 or 5-0 teams, but he plays it safe. I'm going to skip the next match, and we'll save it for last, as we go to one of the more interesting matches of the week. This was RC versus Changi, and what ended up into a forfeit that RC gave after a bunch of hacks against him, including a freeze on Gudra that took out Gudra. And then he forfeited the game, and so Changi would pick it up with a 6. I think 6-0? That's what I wrote down. Yes. Changi would pick it up with a 6-0.
Yeah. Well, Changi needed to win after getting upset week 1. And even with the hacks, he just totally dominated.
Yeah,
I think Changi still wins without the hacks, but it wouldn't have been a 6-0.
I think Eric could have brought it back to a 4-0 with Doug Trio.
Yeah.
But he didn't bother.
And of course, Virgie, being the smart person that he was, locked RC, and that didn't turn out too well. Moving on to one of the more lopsided games was Virgie versus Dash. Dash coming off of a huge win against Changi, facing off against Virgie, who 5-0'd his last opponent and did the exact same thing to Dash, 5-0'ing him very solidly.
Yeah, that was just dumb. Dash didn't prep at all.
I think he let the Changi victory get to his head and just sort of was a bit lax. And, yeah, didn't bring his A game.
He had nothing for Krukun at all.
Okay, moving on to the final match that we're going to talk about this week. Of course, the one that 2 out of the 3 of us in this call took place was myself, Commander versus Bigbad, after completely, haxing Podge to a 1-0 loss, and then Bigbad being taken out by the sub Lackner. A lot of people voted for Bigbad, and I don't blame them. After the poor team building that I did against Podge.
I do think that most of the votes for me were in before the forfeit. Before Lackner beat me. So, I think some of them might have been different if they watched my first week.
True. However, it was a 2-0, and I think the only reason that I actually won was because of quick attack, Sylveon.
I don't know. Would the Shadow Ball have killed your Victini? I don't even.
Yeah, Shadow Ball definitely would have killed Victini, I think. Here, let me run the cow.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Latias have Side Shot? Or was it? Yeah, Mega Latias. Bigbad has Mega Latias or something, and he didn't Side Shot.
Just give me a second.
Adios.
I actually forgot the setup, right?
Shadow Ball.
Oh,
Teeny. Actually, no. Shadow Ball would have only done 53 to. Would have been a 2-0 cow.
what sets that on the bloody?
Max special attack.
Oh yeah, because I wasn't even max. So yeah, definitely wouldn't be good.
But the most weight. I don't have my special set on here. Let's just. Yeah, the most I could have done to you was like 30 at most. It was 30, so like it would have been a 4 Oko. So if you didn't have any damage and you roosted up, you could have outstalled Victini.
Yeah. And the reason for not having Psyshot was just because of bad prep. Because my counter for the Sylveon was meant to be the Hitmonlee. And then I didn't predict it get paralyzed.
I think unaware left a bit of over prep for Esteban. I think Skarmory would have been enough for it.
Yeah, Skarmory could have really screwed me over. However, I prepped really well for Skarmory.
Yeah. I kind of let it die just needlessly to the Chestnut.
And that ended up the week. The records, I had a 8-6 record. JJ tied with Bunny with a 9-5 record. Jayhawk, who is still going on, I'm guessing he's trying to get the worst Pick'em Crew record because he's 3-11 right now. And then 27, aka Hedge, is 5-10. Of course, he'll have one extra match each week because he doesn't play, but he's still not doing the best in the world. Cheat is 5-9. Bunny is 9-5, as I said. Virgie, if he didn't vote for RC, would have been 9-5. However, he's 8-6. T-Bug, who didn't vote this week, is 3-4, and Bigbad, who did vote this week, is 5-2. And if he did that last week, or if he did that week 1, he would have been leading week 1. So overall, you could say that between him and JJ had the best picks, because I think 5. It looks like it. 5 correct picks. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, both of them. And so we move on to week 3, where it's RC versus Dash, Virgie versus Changi, Commander versus Lackner, Podge versus Bigbad, Bunny versus Kantan, Sokka versus T-Bug, Cheat versus Jayhawk, and then Shiki versus JJ. Anyone want to give opinions on any of the matches?
I have to rate all the locks against me this week.
Every person has voted besides Hedge, who didn't lock anything, has voted for Podge to beat Bigbad and locked Podge to beat Bigbad, including myself, including Bunny.
I do have to say, it's gonna be closer, I think, than that those records would like make you think. So I'm bringing heat this week. Well, trying to.
Try. And then Bunny faces off against Kantan. Kantan leading his division, but Bunny is behind him. Bunny, how are you going to beat Kantan?
I think I
And before we head out for this video, I just want to read off 27's pick'em crew for week 3. He has Rapidash beating RC. He has F beating Virgie and Changy. He has U beating Commander and Lackner. He has C beating Podge and Bigbad. He has K beating Bunny and Kantan. He has everyone beating Sokka and T-Bug. He has Cheat beating Jayhawk. And he has Else beating Shiki and JJ. And you can figure out what that spells out. That is all. My name is Commander. I really hope you enjoy. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and thank you for Bigbad and Bunny for joining us for this week. If you want to join, always just stop by. I'll try to do this like every Sunday or so. So that is all. My name is Commander. We'll see you again next time.